Welcome to Simply Heaven, the podcast where we tackle the biggest question of all time: what happens after I die? And more importantly, how do I get into heaven? Join us as we dive into what the Bible says, explore other perspectives from other religions, and share some wild personal stories along the way. This is a space for honest and real conversations for those looking for hope in this broken world. So grab a coffee, settle in, and join us as we uncover the truth together.
All right, here we go. Welcome back, Simply Heaven. We are gonna have so the topic of the day. I'm gonna let Steve run with this one because he's the new topic guy, and he's the new.
So here's the back end context.
Wait, he's topic guy now.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I was gonna say.
He's co-producer now.
Yep.
Co-editor.
Yep.
Co-host.
Yeah. He's
Still
co-everything.
Still
Co-Steve.
He's co-Steve.
Yeah, co-Steve. Yeah. Now, you see, so Steve, for the longest part, as you guys who've been following along up until this point, know that he was pulling the least amount of weight.
I agree.
And now we're on the other end of the spectrum.
Carry it, don't pull it.
Yeah. So now, now he's doing everything. And this is actually the Simply Steve podcast.
Simply Steve.
So
I like that idea. We should branch that off.
Yeah, Simply Steve.
Welcome
Going
back.
solo already? Are you kicking me out of the group?
Like the Bobby Brown of
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Hey, only
That's
the
my
major
prerogative.
only the major stars get their spinoffs, their solo acts. So take that as a compliment.
That's not that. You're right, and sometimes that works.
Because many try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's funny is Greg would have probably assumed 3 weeks ago after the birthday party with his wife, and he got the nice compliment about how great I am. He probably thought I was going to be the one to do the spinoff.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the bottom man here.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
You fund it.
Great.
And you were the guy that came up with the great ideas. So you still have you still have to you have the other co-part of that. I don't think
co-funding.
Well, no.
That's my solo.
That's your solo.
Solo.
That's a solo act. You take
Great.
Yeah.
On the road.
And this episode is sponsored by Leo Design
Yes, they all
Studios.
And Popeyes.
And
Popeyes.
Love
Fiji
that
water.
chicken from Popeyes.
And Fiji water. That's
Fiji water.
And Popeyes. We will send you that invoice.
And
Did you make the turkey, by the way?
And the golden carpet. Don't forget about the golden carpet, sponsored by Gucci.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Gotta love that Gucci.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
Gucci.
Gucci.
Also, shout out. We'll be sending you an invoice for the marketing. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Gucci. Thank you, Gucci.
Dolce & Gabbana.
Yeah.
By opening this email, you agree to sign. You agree to pay this invoice.
All right.
All
So,
right.
Steve, this lovely topic today.
Yeah, what is the topic, Steve?
So what we were talking about way back when, if y'all remember, at one point we said
That was
something
for you,
about
by the way.
generational curses. You don't even have the headphones on. How do you know?
I just know.
He knows.
I know,
Hey.
because you do this. This is how. This
See,
is the,
he is a co-producer.
This is the Steve talking. So the other day we were around there.
Now I'm going to start talking to the wall over here.
All right, so we were talking. Yes, you went back in our archives.
Well, yes. Went back the archives, listened to all the stuff that we have already put out there. Just the stuff that we put out. And I'm like, okay, what do we...
Steve does not apparently have a good home life that he's listening to 25 hours worth.
I only did the ones we put out. Only 7 hours.
Oh, is that
I didn't
it?
listen to all of the ones.
Oh,
No. I just wanted to be up.
okay. Good
I wanted to
context,
be up
good
there.
context.
Yeah, thank you for that.
So, but in there, we said at some point we talked about generational curses because in our bios, we all had some bit of that.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, we talked about it. So, we should bring that up. What do we mean by generational curse? And
well, and the flip side is blessings.
right, there's generational blessings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Still waiting for mine to kick in.
Well, you know what? We're
You're gonna be
still
waiting a
here.
while,
We're already living it, probably.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, think about it. Generational blessing in and of itself, automatically would just be like thinking of the fact that we were all born in the United States. Like, to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The generational, like,
could have been
aspect
born
of
into a
that.
crappy, country.
Yeah,
Right.
We could have. There's a whole lot of things that are blessings that we take for granted, but we also take for granted our generational curses. Like, well, that's just how my family is.
Right.
But I think there's.
Yeah, it's who we are.
It's
Kind of
who
thing.
we are, right,
Yeah.
But I've never really heard anyone put a name on it.
Oh, should we put a name to it?
Well, no, just the name generational curse. I didn't hear about that until I became a believer. But I know that it exists beyond that. It's also in psychology and therapy and all that stuff, because there are things that happen in your family that
So why don't we just share, like, I know I'm open to do it. I don't want to throw you guys into it, but like, why don't we just talk about like what you guys know of what your generational curse is, like what's run through your family line.
Oh God!
And even if it's not that you struggle with it right now, but like something that you noticed, because like you can, like, I've in my journey now, I've learned like to be able to figure out what it is. You have power over it now, and then you can stop it.
Amen.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's
through Christ and the Holy Spirit. So
that's exactly what I wanted to get at with this is, what is a generational curse? Because if you're listening to this, you might be like, do I have one? Maybe you do. As we talk about it.
Yeah. That's
true. But the question is, so fine, what can God do about that?
Yeah, right. Well, I think even the flip side of that is the generational blessing.
Yep.
And we all met people that are like, God, they just have money. It's like, and it just, the grandmother had money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a blessing.
It really is.
So what is it for you?
So for me, I know you were talking about in your bio about addiction and how that was in your family, both of you, I think.
Yeah. We ain't good at it.
It's in my it's in my family too, and it's mostly the men. And it's alcohol, but it wasn't. It hasn't really, because it was mostly the older guys, and they hadn't gotten much into anything else. But my goodness, that alcohol grabs a hold.
Yeah, it does.
And it just, I mean, my mom has had 5 brothers now. There's one living now, but each one of them had their bouts with alcohol, and the last one still does. So it's just, and so I noticed that in my uncle, so my mother's brothers, but then my first cousins,
same
all
thing,
over the place. I mean, my 21st birthday, that was the first time I drank cognac, and I was like, woof, okay. And I liked it.
Yeah.
And I liked it. But as I got older, I kind of just in the way my life, I didn't really grow up around my family a lot. So
because you went away to
I
school
went away
and
since
stuff.
I was 15. I was away from my family, so I think I kind of got some distance from that, which allowed me to just make some other choices, and alcohol wasn't one of them. But you never know when it could grab you. So thankfully, I'm in a place now because of being, in the spirit, where I can almost see when, like, that alcohol is trying to grab me. I can hear it speaking. You know what I'm saying? It's
right. Yeah, don't do this. Yeah.
I could hear it calling. I'm like, wow, that is real, and I believe that to be the curse. And so I'm like, nope. I'm done for a while. I'm
good.
Yep, I'm good. But I have to be aware of that.
Right.
And I pray about it. If I want to be a social drinker and go out and have fun and entertain customers and things like that, I got to be on point. So I can't go getting messy. So so that's just something that I know I have to watch out for. That and physical violence. My cousins and uncles always ready to fight. And
really? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Drunk or not?
You don't seem like a fighting guy, though.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Except when it comes to talking about Jesus's marketing and stuff.
Yes. There's some violence.
Then the boxing gloves come on. He's ready to box anyone.
I'm going to hit you.
That was going to be my topic, by the way.
Yeah, that was the best marketing strategy you ever heard.
So, Greg, what is it for you?
Well, I want to ask you this though before we move on. So now that you know that that's a generational curse, what are you doing to not keep it going?
First off, I don't drink around my children. I think my children have seen me obviously inebriated or drunk once.
Okay.
And when that happened, my wife
that was like, hey.
Yeah, my wife was like,
get your stuff in line.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, got you. My bad. You know what I mean? But not like falling over.
Yeah. No, I'm not,
Just not all the way there. She was like, no. So, okay. So that keeping, giving my wife definitely the permission to call me out. First I was like, okay, yep. And recognizing that there is a limit to what I want to reveal of my adulthood, or like my
Right.
being myself as a person out in the world and a father.
Right.
So, and also if
'Cause that's
and
important.
when, and if and when my children get involved in that, so far, as far as I know, none of them have. My son is now 20. When he turns 21, he'll have the option and ability to go do that. I don't know if he's into it. I haven't heard anything. He hasn't even, sometimes the kids say, "Oh, can I have a sip of your wine or this and that?" Never even asked.
Oh, well, good.
I mean,
good.
but
Because it is on us as men and spiritual leaders of the
That's
household to break generational curses.
that's right. We have to set
And
a
why
different
not?
example. Because I can tell you many, 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 many times. I mean, goodness, I remember driving with my uncle, who's on my mom's side uncle who's living now, driving to go fishing, and he had a 6-pack of light beer in the car. We're driving, and he's drinking while we're driving to go fishing. I mean,
Well, I mean, you might as well multitask.
exactly. I mean, what are you going to do?
You're going to get to it eventually.
Might as
The
well.
funny thing was, we were driving a 77 Pinto, which is probably more dangerous than,
Oh, God.
than the beer. But what I'm saying is the examples that we set
Right.
help break that curse.
Yeah.
But we need to have the integrity and the strength within us to change our behavior and have self-control,
Exactly.
which is
yeah.
a gift, one of the gifts of the Spirit.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the ways that, like you said, what am I doing to break the curse? Trying to set a better example, recognizing where I have faults, because that's the other thing. If you don't recognize that you have a weakness here,
Yeah, that's true. You'd be humbled.
that's right.
Yeah.
You gotta I'm not gonna play with that. It's not like, oh yeah, I can do it. I used to smoke for a while too, and that I quit that before.
That's a good.
I
That's a
became
good idea.
Christian, but
Yeah.
I just quit that because I realized I was lying to myself and everybody about it because I was ashamed of it. So then why are you doing it? Why don't you just stop? That's a good point. Maybe I should just stop.
Yeah, it's expensive, and you know what? Everybody who doesn't smoke says that.
It
by the
wasn't even that expensive when I was not nearly as expensive. It's 3 times as much as it
Well,
is.
I was at the store. I was at Wawa, and a lady goes, "I'll take a pack of whatever." It was like $14
Yeah, it's crazy.
for a pack of cigarettes.
But that's the thing. Like, if someone offered me a cigarette, or
Listen, if it
whatever,
would cost
it's
me
just
$14
never
for a
going
pack
to.
of cigarettes, I'm gonna start farming. That is expensive.
So that's a great question. Is
Yeah, because it is us as spiritual leaders.
so what are you doing?
What are you doing about right? It's okay. You obviously you knew the curse, and it's okay to recognize the curse, but it's very important to sit there and say, I recognize this, but now I got to do something about it.
Right.
Because if you don't fix a problem, it just remains a problem.
Yep, and it will continue on. And I think a lot of it is, you say, is it?
And then you'll be
nature?
blessed for it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then hopefully that'll be the new generation.
in the next generation will
Look at that.
will have that
Well, that
blessing
ends
going
it.
forward.
That ends it.
Well, that's the hope. But that, again, sounds simple.
It's
like,
not.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no,
So
no.
why don't you just stop that? Oh, yeah. That's easy.
Yeah.
But it ain't. It's simple, but it is not.
It's not
that
easy.
easy
No,
to
no,
live
no.
out that example. In fact, our family called out.
Oh, you said ooh. We were. You can't just ooh us and then they ooh, hey.
Well, I'm pulling something up.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, our family. At one point, when we go on vacation together, like all the family. And
Yeah.
everything, kind of did a checkpoint for all of us adults when all the kids were around, saying, "Hey, we need to."
Yeah, let's not be sloppy. Let's
exactly
be respectful. Let's show them that we can have a good time without.
Yes, without and not make alcohol the point of
Yeah.
summer vacation.
Yeah. I mean, if you and your wife want to go on a booze cruise, knock yourself out. But
right. But we can be aware of the example that we're setting.
yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. That's really good.
Yep.
So I have a bunch of generational curses, but I'm just going to pick one in particular.
When
Well,
did
and-
all right.
what?
I just want to understand. You said you have a lot. When did you recognize that there were many? Because that is a part of it, right? You might just go through your life and say, "Oh, that's just how we are.
I
This
don't
is
have
what
like a
we do."
specific day, like, oh, it was the 17th of,
Right.
but I think
I mean, when you recognize things as a generational curse, as opposed to just this is just.
I
my
think
family.
it's more of God showing you your eyes being open, meaning you're starting to recognize things in your, and I'm not trying to be this way, but like your father, your mother, your grandparents, and you start going, oh, this is this came from that person, and then they got it, and they have it, and now they're giving it to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I see that, and I recognize that because I'm a new form being in Christ, not just a person who's living and breathing.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is one of them. We weren't, I feel, maybe I'm not, but I feel like I'm the first Christian on my mother and father's sides. Wow. Yeah.
So you are the light in the darkness in your family.
Yes.
Or the first one, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, my mother, she's a devout Catholic, but she's more of a devout Catholic for the past 10 years than growing up. My dad just wasn't that big of a deal to him. So you don't have the...
Is she Catholic that loves Jesus or Catholic that worships
I couldn't
Mary?
tell you, and I don't have the right answer. You know what I mean?
I do. No, I hear you. Yeah.
Growing up, it was like...
You probably don't talk much about it either.
No, right.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those hey, what are you growing up? Well, we're Catholic. Well, why?
Yeah.
Because I bought the T-shirt. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I don't really know. But I'm going to say one, and I'm not trying to be offensive to either of you, but I feel like, but the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I have an example. Is divorce was big. Like my parents got divorced, my grandparents got divorced, and I could look back and sit there and say none of these people have ever had a happy marriage. Mm-hmm. And I know both my parents, so that if you met them, you understand. I
thought you told me I had met them. I'm like, I did? Dang, I must have been really drunk.
It's that generational curses again.
That's right.
Rearing its ugly head.
There it is.
But I very on in our first 4 or 5 years of marriage, it was very and you're self-centered, especially when you're between 20 and 25.
Oh, yeah.
And one day and I'll give a shout out to Joel Osteen. Mm-hmm. I was listening to Joel Osteen somewhere in there, and he said that he was out with his friend and they were playing one-on-one basketball. And the one guy kept saying, "Oh, there's my old bat. There's the old lady," and he kept saying all these things. And he was like, "You know what? Eventually, she's gonna get old. Why are you?" And Joel was like, "No, there's my beautiful wife. There's my happy wife." And I thought, "Oh, that's a really good analogy to do that. Just be, you're not tricking the mind, but you're
programming your mind.
You're programming your mind." Yeah. Into that, and I wanted to have a happy marriage. I didn't want to just have a marriage. I wanted to have a happy marriage, and I have that. But anyways, we were talking, and my middle son said to me, he didn't say it to me. He said to my wife, but she told me, and she was very excited to tell me. He goes, if I ever get a girlfriend, it's not about dating. It's just about getting married because I want to, marriage is just one-on-one and it's forever.
How old was he then?
It was like 2 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and me and my wife were like, yeah, high five.
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging now, Steve.
I'm not your wife.
I'm not your wife. Thank you, David. Thank you.
I didn't think
We're
it was
on camera here.
I didn't think it was for me. I was I didn't have anything to do with this.
My wife's like, we did it. I was like, yeah, but now we got to get him that person so he can move out.
But as long as that's what he's
but
focused on.
But he that's his belief that curse.
And you guys set
the
that
bar.
Example.
Yes.
You set that example.
Yeah. That you could be happy and this could be your partner and it could be fun. It doesn't have to be like, oh, there she is.
Yeah. And I wonder if
and I know a lot of old
dad. like from a dad, and you look at your son and you and the dad.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That looks good or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that? I'd never talk to my son like that. I don't talk like that in general.
No, I don't either.
That's what I mean. Is that I don't know if any of my uncles did. I don't think my uncles did either.
No, I feel it's weird.
Not like that. But
I always felt like if I was to I always felt I don't listen. I don't want to walk in and be like, hey, look at that one over there. And then he walks up to her, finds her attractive, and then they date and they get married and all that. There's always that in the back of his head, like, damn, Dad looked at that ass. You know what I mean? It's just bizarre. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy. You're like, Dad thinks my wife's hot. You know what I mean? It's kind of gross.
Exactly. That
I
makes it awkward.
I know.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. I just know a story of somebody, and we're definitely not name dropping, but
Steve.
No. But his dad, I was friends with him in high school, and his dad went through a divorce, and Dad started dating a lot younger women.
Oh no!
Like,
Classmates?
I mean, no, not close, not that close, but close enough, you know. Like we were in, I think it was like our junior year of high school. So like we were like 16, 17, I think.
Oh, that's
he
a
was
prime
bringing,
age.
He was
too.
bringing home like 24, 25-year-olds. And then I just know of stories of, let's just say dad and son shared.
Ooh,
Not at the same time, but like.
It got that. The ages got that close.
Yeah. Yeah, where.
See, now there's a generational something
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
happening right there.
Right.
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It depends on which side of the street you're walking on.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
but that's the point, though. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody wants that.
That's where what you were talking about leads.
Right. Yeah.
Because I would have to assume that this guy's dad was like that with his son.
Yeah.
where
They were just checking everything out. And,
Right.
Yeah.
And then it,
Yeah.
you know.
But I want my dad checking on my wife. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Keep it in your
that's,
pants.
I know my dad.
Once your oldness,
I know my
checking
dad.
them out.
I think I guys told you when I was telling you about my dad. Anyone who complimented my mom while he was around, you immediately went on his shit list. That was like, oh wow, yeah, she's beautiful.
Interesting take. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. What are you doing? Oh, no.
No.
nothing.
I said she's pretty ugly. I don't know if that would have got him out.
Yeah,
Depending on the
good.
Good.
You're safe.
That's so funny. So what I pulled up was what you were talking about the generational curses and being able to break them. It reminded me of this quote, and it's from a book, Those Who Remain. The author was Michael Hopf. Michael Hopf. Sorry, I forgot the G.
Michael Hoff, is that
Hopf.
David Hoff's brother, David Hasselhoff?
Gregory Hoff.
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff.
I know.
Yeah, it's
That's
the Hasselhoff.
That's
It's these German people.
Yeah.
They say that type of stuff.
But
Oof.
this is what I think is, and I think that this is what, because you mentioned like when you end the curse, you'll bring on the blessing, right?
Yeah.
But in every blessing, it also leaves the door open for more curses.
You know, this guy's
You
just
know?
a downer. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing.
People
So
are
here's
people.
the quote. Here's the quote. It says, "Hard times create strong men.
Okay, I know this.
Strong men create good times. Good
Right.
times create weak men, and
Yeah.
weak men create hard times."
So
it's a cycle.
It's a
It's a
cycle.
cycle.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that there isn't, like, there is freedom in Christ.
Right.
But the thing of it that we have to remember is that we are always, no matter what, especially as being fathers, we are always going to be passing something on.
Of course.
All
Yeah,
of
yeah,
our
yeah.
good traits, all of our bad traits are going to be passed on, and we're not perfect.
No.
And I think there's the beauty in that and how God is, like, we will never reach the perfection. So understanding that, like, if you see something in your kids that is one of your bad flaws that maybe you were trying to work on for so long, just because your kids have it doesn't mean that it's the end of the rope for them, because number one, you worked through it.
Yeah.
And number two, maybe that's God's design of allowing that to follow suit so that it gives them the opportunity to maybe break that chain and then pass more on to their kids. And so on and so forth. So it's like with everything, we have to understand that, you know, there's a lot of power in breaking the curse.
There is.
But also realizing that in so doing, there is still a chance that other things can find a foothold in there.
There's
you know?
always going to be a good and a bad.
Right. And not only that, what we're doing, as you said, what we pass on to our children, we're passing on the good and the bad. Hopefully, with that good and bad, we have shown them how to manage it, right?
Absolutely.
And they may have tools that we've passed on to them.
Well, they have things from their other side too.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You
just
know.
from what we either side personally,
Right.
can do,
Right.
right. I can't tell my kids how to manage the strengths and weaknesses of their mom because I don't know them intimately.
Right.
I can tell them
Right.
how to handle any strengths and weaknesses they got from me because you do have to handle your strengths too. Because
Yeah.
you lean too hard on your strengths, you become narcissistic,
Right.
and that's not good for you. So you need to
egotistical,
you need to keep yourself humble in light of your strengths and give yourself grace in light of your weaknesses.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those are the tools
Yeah.
to handle the good and the bad.
Yes.
They may have tools that they don't even know how to use yet because they haven't had the situation.
Right.
Use them.
Now, this is, I think there's a tie-in here, and so I want to share this. And this is going to be a little vulnerable because this literally just happened yesterday.
Oh, all right. Should
So-
we cue like
As long as it's
raindrops?
just a little.
Should we cue like rain? Should we
So,
Sprinkles.
sprinkles?
I'll just preface it by saying, like, when I was growing up, talking about your feelings and emotions was never something that was, like, happened.
Right.
So,
And that's a very macho way,
Right.
you know. Yeah.
so
There's
yesterday,
no crying.
I was out to dinner with my daughter,
Mm.
and I had told her that I'm probably going to be moving back to Hamburg soon. And, like,
Oh, well,
I
good.
saw that, that would be something that would excite her. So that was, like, a week ago I shared that with her. This week, she was like, hey, Daddy, I don't want you to move back to Hamburg.
Oh,
And I said, oh. Now,
Bah
Old-
Hamburg.
right. That's
That's an inside joke.
the old me would have really reacted hard to that and been, like, taking that personally.
Yeah.
But I was just like, hey, Bubba, like,
Yeah.
I
Why?
like, yeah, can I ask why? And she was like, well, I'm embarrassed.
Huh?
And I was like,
It's the mutton chops.
It
I
might
agree
be.
with her. I agree
Yeah.
with her.
yeah.
It's just the camera on you. I mean,
God.
just
No.
smile. Just show them once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the mutton chops.
So I asked her, I was like, well, sweetheart, like, what makes you feel embarrassed about it?
Yeah.
And she said, well, because I have two daddies.
Huh.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's a hard
How
one.
old is
So-
she now?
That's
She's
tough.
5.
I'm just surprised that at 5 she can be embarrassed.
That's so
Well,
that's
yeah, they
but
can
hold
be
on.
embarrassed at 5.
But say it.
Not yeah. So I was here's the thing. I was
guess.
skeptical. but I
That's
was like
a tough
I-
pill to swallow, though.
So I threw that away.
yeah. Well, good for you. That's
And
not
I was like,
easy.
all right. So we talked about it. I can't remember exactly what I said after that. But
Yeah.
we go to get ice cream later. And we were at this ice cream shop. The ice cream shop graciously donated an advent calendar to my daughter 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
that's nice. Shout out to them.
She took it out. I allowed her to take it home with her and her mom and stepdad. So the lady that was the owner who gave it to her asked, like, oh, how was it? And was asking questions. And Evie, like, shut down.
Huh.
And I was like, what's wrong, Bubba? And she said, I'm embarrassed. And I said, okay. I was like, what are you embarrassed about? She's like, well, because in order for me to share this story, I have to talk about my two daddies.
Wow.
So in that moment, I just said, okay. I was like, well, do you mind if I share it then? And she was like,
Yeah.
no, go ahead. So she whispered it to me, and I told the owner, I was like, she was embarrassed because she didn't know how to bring up her two daddies.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you know what? The owner looked at her and she said, I had two daddies.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
She was
yeah.
like, she was like, and my kids have two daddies.
huh.
And I was like, yeah, like, see, sweetheart, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then the owner was like, and that means that you get two. That means you get like you have two daddies.
double of
you have
something.
double
Sure,
that gets
yeah,
a love
yeah,
on
yeah.
you. And then I threw this in there at the
a
end.
great
and I was
way
like,
of looking at it, though.
right. And then I just threw it at the end, and I was like, and guess what, sweetheart? I was like, do you know how many daddies Daddy had? And she was like, 2. I said, I had none.
Yeah.
I was like, so you get 2.
I'll be your daddy.
You gonna make me tear up? But
This is what happens if you get vulnerable.
Every now and then, I'm gonna sprinkle in this pot. Like, who's your daddy?
Greg is. But so for me, the tie-in and why I was reminded of that was you talking about what are we passing down to our kids.
Right.
So in those moments, if I would have brought up to my mom or dad, Mom, if you're listening, probably tune out. I love you. But in those moments, when I would feel any type of way against either her parenting or their parenting, it would have been an argument, and it would have turned into, I would have felt like, well, I shouldn't have even brought up my feelings.
Kept her mouth shut. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the point where I think, like, my daughter then was so excited after that. Like, she couldn't stop talking about, like, the stuff that she got to do with daddy and the stuff that she got to do with
That's
her
awesome.
mom and her and her stepdad.
Yeah.
And that is what I think is, like, the important part is, like, whether or not she is too young to be able to be contemplating.
to comprehend it all, but-
take that aside.
No. I said
Because-
I'm impressed with it. I'm just
Yeah.
But, like,
in a way. I'm
Right.
saying that I'm impressed, but in a way it breaks my heart because at that age she has been exposed to it. And it's just one of those things that makes me
Exactly.
so mad about divorce. So I know.
You
But
walked that walk. Yeah.
But the beauty of it is the fact that I genuinely believe that that is something that she will be able to. That was good. That's going to be one of her core memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she's going to be able to look back on it and be like, you know what? No, it is okay for me to share it because a lot of people
have gone through
this, and it makes me unique in a way. And now she can openly talk about it. And I was like, man, if I at 5 years old would have been, because like at 5 years old, my mom made sure that we didn't talk about my dad's drinking. Like that was, we keep that in the corner. We don't talk about that, right?
Carpet, yeah.
But I don't know. I wanted. It reminded me of it. I didn't know if there was a tie-in,
so,
but like I wanted your guys' feedback on that.
Well,
too.
no, but here's the thing. So you're not allowed to. So you just said you're not allowed to bring up stuff like that when you were her age to your mother, right?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: do you think she would have been able to bring that same subject up to her mother
if you were with someone, like
right?
If
your
she
mother,
had 2 mommies.
So if the roles were reversed, like how would I don't know.
But no, I'm saying, okay, so you weren't allowed to talk about your emotional feelings at that age. Like you just said, we hid everything. There's a stain on the carpet, in a sense. So do you think your mother would have been able to have that same conversation with her mother, meaning your grandmother or grandfather?
And you know what? I don't know. I don't think
so.
I
bet you it's probably a no.
Yeah.
I would agree with
you.
So
here's the kudos to you. You might have just broken that curse.
Yeah. A curse of communication.
Yeah.
And sweeping things under the rug.
Because your daughter's going to come to you now for the rest of her life and be like, I could talk to my dad about whatever's going on, good or bad.
Putting the cameras on was a bad idea.
But no, that's true though. You might have did that. Yeah. Good for you.
And that
because that's being a bigger person. I don't know how I would have reacted.
Listen, when I'm
like, you only got one daddy, bitch. I'd have punched in the throat.
Okay, all right. He is being metaphoric right now.
He would have like throwing daggers with your eyes. He would have He'd be like, you don't have 2 daddies.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. No, we'll talk later.
Yeah. You get no ice cream.
That's right. Yeah, that's it.
I'm eating it for myself.
Right
I'm lactose intolerant, so you got to deal with it.
But here's the thing, and I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
Because sometimes,
but that's a tough thing to do.
Sometimes my daughter will go and say like, "Oh yeah, well when I was, when I was with Daddy, I mean Zach."
Right.
And I'm like,
it's not Zach Galifianakis, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But and I just look at her,
I would
and
have
I'm
said
like,
I would have too.
I was like, sweetheart, when you're at home, do you call him Daddy? And she was like, yeah. I said, so why do you don't feel bad? Like I get it.
And it's confusing. She's 5.
Yeah, of course. I was
yes, it's confusing, but that is also a confusing rule to give your daughter when she's got a dad. That's anyway.
It's a sticky situation.
No question.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So the role that
But you're being a bigger person here.
But take that aside for a second. The role that I'm in.
Just a second. We'll bring it back.
Yeah. We'll belittle him in a minute.
Yeah. Please do. But the role that I'm in, here's the thing, is like I could sit there and be angry and be like, no, like I'm your dad. That should be stepdad. But in her, if that is how it's being run, all I'm going to do by confronting that is adding confusion, and confusion helps no one.
That's true.
Well, and anger.
Yeah. Right. And it's gonna. So at the end of the day, it's like, listen, this is where it is right now.
Yeah.
Like,
and only for
good
right
for her.
Right. For right now.
Good for her.
Right now.
Yeah. Like, good for her that she has 2 men in her life that love her.
Right.
That I'm hoping. I can't say anything about him and how he.
Yeah.
His outlooks and whatever the case is.
Right. That's his thing.
But to be a stepfather is a hard job.
It is.
To kids that are not your own.
That's right.
So the fact that she has someone that's stepping in to somebody that is not her biological daughter, and he does have a biological kid now with with her mom, and to still treat her like his own.
Yeah.
That
we'll give him kudos, I guess.
We'll give him he deserves the kudos.
Well, yes, and not only that, I mean, for 50% or more than 50% of the time, he is going to be with your daughter under his roof.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
And as a divorced parent, whenever my ex had, a boyfriend or whatever, I was so thankful that it was thankfully someone that I, didn't have to worry about being
opposed to many things.
Right. This person is there. He's interested. He's treating them right. They seem to like him. As long as they like him, there's no issues that I need to deal with,
Right.
then fine. Because I don't
flick
want
of the throat.
I don't, because that I don't want to go there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it is a blessing.
Yeah.
For the situation, as bad as it is, to be stable. I mean, that's really all you can hope for in a divorce situation. Like stability.
Yeah.
That's a win. That's like easily a B plus. Just stability. You would think that's like a C. No, that's almost an A.
Right.
A plus is if you got stability with, like some kind of good relationship, a working relationship. That's like, woof, man, you're blowing a roof off because, but it's difficult. And,
I believe it.
And how you handle that whole thing with children shows your children.
It's a whole different level.
A lot.
I believe it's a whole different level.
Oh my goodness. And especially when they become teenagers. Like I remember my teenage daughter saying that both her mother and I were acting like infants. And I was like,
and I met you and I agree to it.
Well, that's the thing. We know when if that.
But you're fighting. You're acting like children in their eyes.
Course,
Yeah.
Anytime there's a fight over something you don't understand,
and it's stupid, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it always is. That was the whole reason why I was just.
Well, and that's why I'm going to say. I mean, you did the right thing because that would have just been a dumb argument. Which makes you both look bad. It doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong.
Yeah.
And now she's going to feel reserved every time she's around you.
But if just in that story that you're talking about. Listen to the blessings that you threw out into that space that countered the curse. One, self-control.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Right? You didn't fly off the handle and say, that's not your daddy. Hold on. Wait for this ice cream. I'm going to go talk to my daughter. You didn't have, you know what I mean? You didn't.
Well, you didn't embarrass her, which was good.
Right. You didn't come down on her. You led with love and grace. Again.
That's a big one.
Kindness.
Yeah.
Gifts of the Spirit. This is how God and the Spirit can break generational curses, giving you all of those tools to when something that normally would have been swept under the rug or what have you, and just let her feel embarrassed about it and let that fester, you were able to kind of open that up.
Right, and embrace.
And break through it. And now, she, just like Greg said, she knows there's an open channel of communication.
There's an open door.
There.
Yeah.
And
having a girl, I mean, we all have daughters.
Yeah, that open.
They'll talk about anything.
This is true. So, I mean, that's one of the things that we can do and pass it down.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, you said divorce. A lot of people are getting divorced. Sometimes in that case, the generational curses is like, well, everybody's getting divorced without.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anything on divorce. I'm just saying for us.
No, it's fine. No, divorce sucks. There's nobody here is lobbying for divorce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
the dumbest thing I always think about divorce is this. I always see people, and again, I'm not you in particular, but I see a lot of people that get divorced, and I'm always like, oh, he left his wife or she left her husband or whatever. And my first question is, who did they get? And I bet you she looks just like the same wife. Oh, it's like, why don't you just stay with her? She looks like a bad version of who you used to be with.
Yeah, that's a whole. I mean, people do have types, but types have types within types.
They do.
Amen.
Amen. Not even prototypes.
Yeah. See, generational curses can just be in your relationship line. Just looking back at it, you just make the same mistake over and over.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see a guy who marries somebody and he just keeps marrying the same person, and it's like, come on,
my
dude.
third wife was like, you're what now?
Yeah. Yeah, and I have
And
two
what number are you
people
on right now? 7? Oh.
No, I have two people in my
technically
dad's side that are
3.
like that.
Oh, yeah, for you. Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, 3 marriages, 2 wives.
But I think you did something very important. You, from what I gather before you met your wife, is you worked on yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think that's, to me, is a big key. I always tell people when they get divorced, don't get in a relationship right away. Work on the relationship now is between you and God, and work on yourself. Be the best version of you.
But if you don't have a relationship with God,
right, it makes it harder.
It makes it hard because you're going to work on you by making yourself feel better. And you know what feels good when you get out of a bad relationship? Finding something else.
I was going to say something else, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And then that's when you make the same mistake again. Because if you fell out of that relationship, you probably didn't get into it with...
That's one of us.
Not me.
It's me.
Oh.
If you like, it's a really good thing we have everything on vibrate, because as soon as the phone's like, hey, is that you? It's like, but yeah, if you fell out of that relationship, chances are you probably didn't go into it with eyes wide open.
Right.
Right.
Yes, it's
You
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
know I didn't. And from talking with David, I
Yeah.
wouldn't think you did either. I don't see how you could have at that age, because
No.
even with your eyes wide open, they can't see at that
Right.
age. Well,
Well,
I know I couldn't.
And I think that ties back into the generational curses.
Yeah.
We reckon you gotta. I think it's very hard to recognize a curse without being saved and spiritual.
Yeah.
And to go off of what you said about, like, what your advice was to people after they get out of a divorce, like, I wouldn't have been able to go this whole year, no relationships. The first time in my literally my
Right.
adult life.
I didn't even think about that one.
Like, if it wasn't for me trying to grow my relationship with God and trying to really find who God made me to be,
Yeah.
I would have been on to the next relationship right away.
Because that was
Making another- yeah.
continuing the curse.
But
Yes.
but because my
Yeah,
thought process
right.
would have been, well, she could fix me, she'll save me.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's
No.
that's what we do.
Or blaming the other person for
Yeah.
the faults of the marriage, and
Yeah.
that just continues the cycle.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be able to attest to it, Steve, with going from like the divorce angle. I wouldn't change this past year of my life at all,
Well, good.
and I'm so happy.
Because of this podcast, by the way.
It is 100% of this podcast.
See?
You guys saved me.
You're welcome. Well, who's your daddy?
All right, okay, so it's Jesus, but then Greg.
Yeah. Jesus, then Greg. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the Simply Heaven podcast. and then co-Steve. Co-Steve.
And then Esteban.
And
I don't know what happened.
Co-Esteban.
Esteban.
Co-Esteban.
bring it
Now that we have video, we gotta
We gotta bring Esteban.
Yeah, we
back.
have to bring Esteban in. Yeah.
He's the
with
co-host.
with the chainsaw.
He's the cocoa.
Is he the hot cocoa or the cold cocoa?
Whatever you want.
Or is he the Dunkin' cocoa?
No, he's the cocoa host.
The cocoa.
I was
But,
the
like-
co-host.
No, you're the co-host. He's the cocoa host.
Yeah.
Co-host.
No, you. Oh, you want to be the cocoa host? Oh, all right,
Wow.
all right.
And once
Okay.
again, racism
Now you
rears
can
its ugly head.
Yeah, wah, wah. But like what you were saying is, being able to focus on that and grow there. Like, you were able to then, when you met your wife now, you came in as healthy as you possibly could be.
Yeah.
And you weren't bringing, it doesn't matter.
You always bring baggage.
You're always going to bring baggage, right?
yes.
But you were in that time frame. I'm assuming you were able to learn about how you can now cope with some of that baggage.
Yep.
And then when hers comes to focus, you have a lot more grace, and you have a lot, and you're able to address those
and
things.
Experience
And the experiences,
yeah.
when before in your previous relationships, I would have had to assume that probably a lot of those conflicts was more reactionary than responsive, like being able to respond.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not very reactionary, but I'm only reactions once the buffer gets filled up. Once the buffer fills up, now then it's reactionary. And
Which is almost everybody.
exactly. My
happens,
buffer
yeah.
got filled up a lot in my
Yeah.
last marriage. So,
Right.
So now, if you don't mind me asking, what was the time frame between your marriage ending to the new marriage? Like, was there like a year? Was it 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? I don't really know.
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
And do you think that was a good, long enough time frame? Like, you were like, what was the time where you were like, I think now it's time to bring somebody else in again to share my life with? Was that right away, or is
Gosh, no. No. But it was at the right time.
Okay.
When I met my wife. No, that 4 years was the right amount of time. I needed time to get my head straight. I needed time to make messes, clean them up, and realize that I just made a mess and decide not to do it again. I needed all of that time
Right.
to get my head, myself, my ego, my anger, everything put together in it. And so when she and I met, we met in 15. We met at the end of 15.
Yeah.
1915.
Yes.
I can make that joke because I am the.
Yes.
I'm pulling the youth into this
You're
podcast.
pulling the youth into it.
Yeah, you go. Yes, we were.
You know
we
what's
were buying our
terrible?
tickets for the Titanic, and they were sold out. So
I was going to say, and you both had to stay on two separate sides of the boat.
Yeah.
It was one of those errors.
But yeah, so it was 2 years. It was 2 years before 2 years after my marriage before I met her. So it was really 2 years before I put myself back out there to date.
Vulnerable to somebody else, right?
Right,
Because
yeah.
I mean, you know,
Because I was a mess, and
Well, you
anyone
go
who
through-
got
you went
next to
through
me
a lot.
was going to be in a mess too. So
Right.
so that's. But so it took me that time, and I did. And praise God, I was able to work through a lot of that because yes, while I was a follower of Christ at that time, I was
Right.
still a broken person who just got out of a divorce with a
yeah,
weakened ego that needed to be resuscitated.
right.
Yeah.
So that's
And how did you know that she was the right one? Was it the faith? What was it? And you can't say anything physical.
no. I don't want to say because
You know what I mean?
because I don't want to say because it's just
Just one point.
about her in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah, that you were like, okay, I know this is my spiritual soulmate that we should look for, like somebody like David, who's eventually going to go back out.
We'll see.
I'll tell you. I will.
I'm not at his 2-year point yet where he was like, oh, I can see
Yeah,
myself.
I can tell you.
I'm
for
not
me.
there yet.
All right, I'll tell you for me, for my
No,
wife.
I
I
can tell
knew
you, yeah. Go ahead.
I knew she was the right one when we would sit down and talk, and she had a certain quality that I was like, okay, I like that, and I want to maintain
Yeah.
that. Meaning
Yes.
that she was a moral person
Mm.
without coming quick to judgment.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
you
be-
saw that the first time you met her, or you
no,
knew her, you knew her
no.
well?
After time and
Oh,
just
okay.
getting
No,
to know
I'm-
her,
well,
I was
my
like,
wife and
okay,
I
this
met
is
on an internet date. So
Yeah, I knew
I
that.
was making my decisions every moment.
Right.
So was she. Like,
yeah,
when you meet like that, it's an interview.
yeah,
you know?
it is. Where were you born?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you like
So
blue,
it's
huh?
not like we just kind of like got to know each other, in youth group or at school or
Right.
in college or at
Yeah,
lab
no,
in
no.
class. No. This is like, okay, let's go. You and me, we can do this or what? That's the unspoken thing.
Yeah. No, I walked up to my wife and asked for the digits. That's right. That's how we met. Yeah.
No,
Give more context.
It was the only fair.
Oh,
More context.
we never really talked about how we met our wives.
Oh.
I don't think that's necessary.
Don't tell
No.
me that I have had the conversations with each of you individually about how you both met your wives and you guys haven't had it together.
We've
That
had
is
it.
insanity.
We
Don't-
have had them
Really?
together.
Have you? All right.
Because we're just
Because
running.
I know.
We probably started the conversation, didn't get all the way through it because we sidetracked.
Yeah, we
somewhere.
sidetrack a lot.
Yeah. Because we had it on our way back from
did
filming
we?
with Casey.
Oh.
Yeah, you shared with me, and then you
Oh,
and I
yeah, I
outside
guess.
of your house the one time.
Yeah.
You shared with me.
Yeah, but yours is pretty simple. You just went on, it's simple-ish.
Yeah.
You went on Christian Mingle, and shout out to them. We need a sponsorship.
Hey, listen,
Looking at
maybe
you.
in like 2 years you're gonna have a bachelor that's gonna be looking. So
Yes.
Christian Mingle. If you are listening right now, you have a prime opportunity.
Cash in.
Prime opportunity.
Cash in.
Cash in.
I could even do a full testimonial, even though it's already on our website. But yes,
Is it on your way? You have a website together?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Greg, you don't know this?
No.
Oh my gosh, StephenHolly.com.
You got a shot.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
What do I got to see on this website?
I don't know. You got to go see and find out.
Oh, this sounds like a generational curse coming. So I'm trying to stick the topic here.
Well, actually, I think the website was created to break the generational curses.
Oh.
For future generations, not just from his family line, but for others.
Do you think we
coming
need
into
to?
it.
So you're saying all couples need a website? What am I going to put on my
Well,
website?
no. But like, they have a great story,
Oh, okay.
and because of that story, they felt like it was worth being shared,
Oh,
and that other people could learn from
I'm
it.
not gonna. I'll look this up later. I'll forget.
That's the whole reason we did. That's the whole reason our ceremony, our wedding ceremony, wasn't for us. All we wanted to do was get to the party. We were already there.
I knew that.
Let's just get to the party. But the ceremony,
It was beautiful. I was there.
I loved it. I think it
was outside?
Great job. Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. It was like that. I don't think
That's about all I remember, being outside.
Yeah. Well, and then we were in the club.
Yes. And Building
Yeah.
24.
And it's okay. I didn't get an invite, but that's fine.
No,
Yeah,
that's right.
you-
But it's all right. We'll do.
David
we're gonna
wasn't
do
in David wasn't in the life in your
David
guys'
was not
lives.
in the
Yeah,
lineup.
yeah, he was way out. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know how long
but
you've been married. 12 years? 10 years?
gosh.
10 years? 9? 5? 7?
17.
17?
In
What?
17. It was in 17, so 3, 5, 8.
What?
8 years.
What?
358.
When in 2017?
May.
Oh yeah, I could have come right before I graduated high school. Like,
Oh yeah, see,
yeah.
there you go.
yeah, yeah. How inconsiderate, Steve. My.
Go, Steve.
So, I mean, we kind of stopped on. We talked about addictions, communications as curses. Addiction, communication within the family. That's a tough one because some families just grow up never talking about stuff.
Right.
And when you're with a person who grew up like that,
Yeah,
you never talk about stuff, and that can be a generational curse. And that
it surely can be, and especially and a lot of people.
Communication.
And I think a lot more older folk than the younger folk are more. I think young people are more open to communication, but I think a lot of older folks, it's always like, "Oh, that didn't happen," or they gaslight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that could be that can make it very frustrating to want to talk about something, especially sensitive.
It's kind of like when parents. I hear parents who are like our parents' age.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably your mom's age too, because your parents.
Yeah, your parents were older.
Yeah.
So, and now they're talking to their 35, 40-year-old kids and like, oh, you had a great childhood. And the kids are like, well, Mom, actually.
It's all perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perspective.
Well, you guys are happy. Well, we just didn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Because every time we told you something, you blew up. So we just didn't tell you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that becomes something that maybe if they don't
Right.
recognize that.
Right. Well, and
they'll
that's
do the
why I
same
think it was
thing
so
to their kids.
important that you. I don't know if you recognize it, but I recognize that right away with David's story. It's that you allowed her to open up and share, and not judging her and gaslighting and doing all the things I think a lot of people would have done, But now you can, hopefully, close the door on that curse because it is a curse, like you just said. Yeah.
But bringing it kind of things back around to why are we talking about generational curses and things on Simply Heaven? I thought we were just gonna. I'm going to talk about how simple it is to get to heaven. Yeah, but we're here now.
Right, yeah.
Right? So we're also talking about once you do make the choice, maybe you decided on, episode 2 or 3 to give your life to Christ because, you want to hang out with, Greg, Steve, and David. I don't know. But if you have,
and
you still have work to do.
Esteban, go, Esteban.
Trust me, when you hear this is a PSA. If you gave your life to Jesus because you thought it would be cool to hang out with Craig, Steve,
oh my God, we gotta have you're on
First
the
off,
guest
we're
list.
gonna bring you on, and then second off, I'm gonna meet with you personally.
Okay,
and third of all, we were gonna give you a drug test.
yeah, that is number one.
Multiple.
Yeah. I
mean, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you still have work to do, and this is, the work, the parts that we're talking about that aren't easy. It is simple. The process is simple,
easy,
but it's not easy because the work that we're talking about doing, I got to go work on myself to make sure my third marriage, second person still. I keep saying that because I married my first wife twice just to make sure everyone's clear.
I'm not trying to make a joke, but it's sort of like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Is that sort of what it was?
No, fool me once, shame on me. Fool Jesus once, shame on you. Because that was the difference in the first and second marriages.
Oh, okay.
The first time, it was my idea. The second time, it was Jesus's idea. And I just said, all right, I'm following you. And it fell apart. And I didn't say I told you so because he told me when I said that. That was the prayer I prayed the day before the second marriage to my
right, then
ex-wife.
Wife, then ex-wife.
Yes,
yeah.
then
whatever.
Ex-wife then. Anyway, then was, Lord, at this point, after everything has happened, I don't trust her, but I trust you, and I know this is what you want me to do, and I know that no matter what happens, you're going to be there on the other end of it. So
and
that's it.
I'm gonna just share a personal testimony from our conversations from the beginning, because for those that don't know, Steve and I got connected through this men's group at LCBC when they were having it, and
they're a great spiritual church, I heard.
Greg just knows how to poke a bear.
You gotta poke it, man.
But what I want to say is there was a lot in my head when things were happening while I was going through this process of divorce, and where I wanted to just throw in the towel and just call it a quits early. But I always felt God was saying, no, hold on, no, hold on, no, hold on. And it's not for me holding on for the point of reconciliation, but there were things that I think he needed to show me through this process to not give up right away that I'm so grateful for. I mean, until this, currently speaking, we are still married. Mm-hmm. Things are, I would, without a complete miracle from God, I do not see us, ever getting back together. Mm-hmm. But what I will say though is hearing your story and how God worked through and what you were willing to sacrifice yourself to give your marriage everything, and then hearing from your wife talking about how one of the things that she commended you for the most is the fact that you literally left it all on the line for your marriage beforehand. And that just was one of those things, like me hearing that was one of those things that when I was struggling and I wanted to throw in the towel, I was like, but I know what God could do through this. Mm. And what I'm struggling with and what I'm enduring right now is awful.
Right.
I have you to talk to about those things, which we've had those conversations before when things really hit the fan, and I knew you were only a phone call away, and you graciously listened to me and gave me advice from your experiences. And I think that is, to tie it back into the generational curses thing, like sometimes breaking the generational curse isn't just for you. Amen. And sometimes it's not even just for your kids. It's you can find a brother or sister in Christ that is struggling with those similar things, and you can be the light and help them break those curses themselves.
No, I agree with you. Mm-hmm.
I agree. And just as the testament, like that is something that I cherish to this day. That is a gift that you gave me that I don't even know if you've given. That you knew you gave it.
I didn't, and I appreciate hearing that.
Look at that. It is nice.
I didn't
like his Black Knight.
I know.
Yeah, look at that.
That's a Martin Lawrence reference, okay? Okay.
No, I hear you, man, and I appreciate that. And I think that is, one of those things when God is moving you in a direction.
Yeah.
If you hear it, move. Mm-hmm. Because it like you said, it may not just be for you.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I got things I need for you to do. So follow me.
Well, it's almost like a donation in a sense. Mm-hmm. You always donate and you always donate and you feel good.
Right. It's not for you.
It's not for you. You know what I mean? It's like people don't understand sometimes. Mm-hmm. Just opening and listening.
So just wanted to talk about this because we touched on it earlier about generational curses, and they were part of each one of our bios. But each one of those curses, I think we have recognized them be all but squashed in our current lives because of our relationship with Christ.
Yeah,
and with huge, in large part.
Yeah, we still are going to have them, but I think being Christ followers, it helps us fight those fights a little better, and especially in your case, it kept you calm and patient in a situation that I think most people wouldn't have been.
And it's not like it does it. It's not like it ends. It's not like, the curse is
broken.
We all turn back into human again, and we're not.
No, it's not like that. That's the point of the curse. It just keeps coming.
But now you can fight it every day. But you got to beat it back every day.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
and remember and kind of go back to that well. But we have the strength and power to do that.
Yeah.
In Christ. So,
amen.
Yeah, amen to that. All right, you want to wrap it? Come on now, end it with the blessing of the.
So thank you all for listening in, and we will leave you. And remember, love God, love people, do something. See you next time.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Simply Heaven. We hope this discussion has sparked your curiosity and provided some comfort in this often confusing world. Remember, this podcast is all about honest and real conversations, and we encourage you to reflect on your own beliefs and experiences. If you enjoyed our chat, please consider sharing it with a friend or leaving us a review. It helps us reach more people seeking hope and understanding. We'd love to hear your thoughts or stories, so don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media. And remember, the journey to understanding is just as important as the destination. Stay blessed, and we'll see you next week on Simply Heaven.